Part 21. Transformed into a comic book artist. Author, Miao by Shen Wu. Chapter 208. In the end, Yunlan did not answer, but talked about other things, hesitating and not speaking, which disappointed Susienner. However, thinking of the other party's idea, Susienner touched her chin and felt that it was time to recruit a comic assistant. Originally, she would never recruit a comic assistant because she had the Miobi studio to serve her, but now it was time to find one. Thinking about it, Susienner suddenly became alert. No. Didn't I plan to retire? Why did I start drawing comics again? Susienner suddenly remembered and felt a little annoyed. Then she thought of the culprit Jokinja and gritted her teeth. Excuse me, how can I get into the Huaxia Conservatory of Music? Just as Susienner was preparing how to punish Jokinja, Yunlan was thinking about Susienner's question in his mind, and Shianayui Sakura next to him asked. Oh. Susienner and Yunlan looked at Shianayui Sakura next to them in surprise. Susienner asked tentatively, aren't you working here? Although Shianayui Sakura looks very young, since she works here, it shouldn't be a part-time job, right? Shianayui Sakura's always cold face showed a hint of embarrassment and said, this is a hot spring hotel opened by my family. I'm just helping out today. I'm only in the third year of high school now, so I have to take the college entrance examination. That's right, Shianayui Sakura didn't want to go to college at all, but Susienner is a third-year high school student and will leave after 3 days and 2 nights. Does she have to chat with the other party online for the rest of her life? I'm afraid she will go crazy. So, in order to get close to the other party, Shianayui Sakura made up her mind to go to college. If Shianasaki knew this, she probably wouldn't know what to say. Since the first year of high school, she has instilled the benefits of going to college into Yui Sakura. Even if the other party doesn't study hard in college, it doesn't matter as long as she can make friends, but Shianayui Sakura, who has been staying at home, has no such idea at all, and it doesn't make sense no matter what she says. If she talks too much, she will get angry. Shianasaki also knew that her daughter's temper was a way of expressing her attitude, but she was helpless. Now she has to take the college entrance examination because of Susienner. If Shianasaki, as a mother, knew this, she would probably be in tears and laughter. Meeting once is more effective than her nagging for years. Susienner nodded. So that's it? She thought the other party was a waiter in this hot spring hotel, but she didn't expect it to be the daughter of the boss. Thinking of Susienner, she was curious, how did you think of going to Huaxia Conservatory of Music? Although she asked, she still explained, if you want to go to the Conservatory of Music, it's similar to Yunlan, an art student. You must take the art exam before the college entrance examination. Of course, this is just one way. You can fill in Huaxia Conservatory of Music as your first choice in the college entrance examination. If you haven't taken the art exam before, you can also take the exam again in the university. In general, the artistic strength of art students is more important than the college entrance examination score. Susienner did not take the art exam during the Chinese New Year. Anyway, as long as the score meets the standard, it is enough to go to the university for a re-examination. She is not in a hurry. In fact, a large university had approached her in the first half of the semester, saying that she could be directly recommended, but she wanted to go with Lin Jingshu, so she naturally rejected all of them. This made the school very regretful, but they all saw Susienner's strength, and they couldn't persuade her to go to the music college. That means even after the college entrance examination, she still needs to take the art assessment in the university. Shianayui Sakura looked worried, and it was okay for her to write a novel. Singing. She has never opened her voice since she was a child, how can she pass? Seeing this, Yunlan couldn't help but remind her, you can't only pass the music college by singing, but also by acting, dancing, opera, drama, etc., and if you have participated in any competitions before, won a trophy, or your strength is recognized by the public, you will get extra points from the assessment teacher. Susienner's eyes lit up. Doesn't that mean she is sure to go to this music college? Then think about it carefully. It seems that even if she is not famous, she is sure to go. Alas, too strong strength also has its own troubles. Shianayui Sakura was even more depressed, dancing. She didn't go out all day, so her body wasn't that flexible. Performing. As a person with facial paralysis, she was very qualified. As for the others, Shianayui Sakura became even more desperate when she thought about it. Then she looked at Susienner and gritted her teeth and said, "Is there any way to quickly improve my singing ability?" After thinking for a long time, she realized that singing was the only way, but she had never opened her voice since she was a child, and she didn't know how well she sang. Yunlan said she couldn't help because she was an art student. Susienner looked at Shianayui Sakura carefully and found that although she was wrapped in a bath towel, she had a curvy figure and white skin. When her little face didn't speak or show any expression, it looked a little cold. Shianayui Sakura was very consistent with her aesthetics. After thinking about it, Susienner coughed lightly and said, "If you pass the exam and live in the same dormitory with me, I will teach you to sing." Really? Shianayui Sakura looked surprised. Susienner obviously didn't know that Shianayui was thinking about how to get close to her. Now that she said that, it was like a huge piece of fat meat was delivered to her door. There was no reason for Shianayui to not take it. In fact, Susienner had her own ideas when she said that. She had consulted Asada Sayori before and knew that there was a villa area in the Huaxia Conservatory of Music, which was rented to people who had financial strength and didn't want to live in ordinary dormitories. This villa area is actually a dormitory. The school stipulates that 4 people must live together and cannot rent alone, no matter how rich they are. This rule made Susienner not know how to complain. She wanted to make money but didn't want to be criticized by the media. Isn't this like being a prostitute and pretending to be a saint? But Susienner naturally had to live in this villa building. She didn't want to live in the dormitory building, which was so small. Originally, she planned to live off campus, but the villa building on campus was naturally preferred, so if Lin Jingshu lived with her, it would be 2 people. Now Shianayui Sakura wants to apply to Huaxia Music University. Although she doesn't know the reason, she doesn't care about it. It's not easy to find a few people who get along well to live together. As for whether they can be assigned together, just ask Asada Sayori to mention it. If the other party doesn't even have this face, then don't be the queen. Seeing that Shianayui Sakura agreed, Susienner said, "Sing your favorite song for me now." Alas, Shianayui Sakura looked embarrassed. She would hum a song when she was alone, but she had never sung it in public. Seeing that Shianayui Sakura was shy, Susienner continued, "You don't dare to sing now. What will you do when the teacher assesses you?" "Okay, okay." Shianayui Sakura took a deep breath, and her favorite song emerged in her mind. She spoke slowly with nervousness in her heart. "Sakura, Sakura, I want to see you, I want to see you now." Before she finished singing, Shianayui Sakura stopped by herself. Her face was as red as steam. "Girl." Just one sentence, out of tune, broken voice, and forgotten lyrics. At this moment, the air seemed to freeze. Shianayui Sakura was embarrassed. Transformed into a comic book artist. Author, Miao by Sheng Wu. Chapter 209. Not bad. Huh, Yui Sakura. Shiana was very embarrassed. Hearing this, she couldn't help but look at Susienner in surprise. Even Yunlan next to her looked at Susienner speechlessly. Comforting people is not so comforting, right? She, an outsider, felt that Yui Sakura Shiana was not suitable for music, so why did Susienner still praise her? Shiana Yui Sakura has never been involved in singing, but even though she has not been involved, she also knows that music requires talent. The first thing is the voice. She doesn't know what to do with her own voice. Anyway, she thought it was just ordinary and nothing special. In addition, she didn't have many friends, and she didn't have any popular voice online, so naturally she didn't know what her voice was like. Singing also requires various skills, but she didn't have it, so in the first line, she went directly out of tune. As a result, she forgot the words again when she was nervous, and even broke her voice. She has violated all the taboos in singing. Is this okay? Susienner was so gentle, she knew she was embarrassed, so she comforted herself. This made Yui Sakura Shiina like her even more, but she was still embarrassed and said, although I'm not very good at music, I also know that the first line I just sang is very good. Damn, you don't have to comfort me. What comfort? Susienner curled her lips, you sing so poorly, I racked my brains and don't know how to comfort you. Ahem, Yunlan coughed twice, signaling Susienner to speak more reservedly. And Yui Sakura Shiina looked confused. You're out of tune, forgetting the words, and breaking the sound. There's also something wrong with the speed of your singing. It's too fast. Susienner didn't care about Yun-Ian's instructions. Since Yui Sakura Shiina is going to a music university, she must be trained well. Yes, so she said, but one thing is good, that is, your voice is very nice. Does the voice sound nice? Yes. Yun-Ian's eyes lit up, Yuing's voice is really nice. I just wanted to say it when we were chatting. Of course, we just didn't get to know each other well, so we were just chatting and it wasn't easy to compliment others. But now that Susienner said it, she naturally kept nodding her head in agreement. That's right, although talent in singing is very important, voice is the most important thing. If a person's voice is the same as that of a broken gong, then the singing will be difficult to listen to no matter how talented and skilled you are. Of course, there are some special people who can sing with their own taste even if their voices are broken, but such people are rare, and Susienner will not use such people as examples. Out of tune, broken pronunciation, forgetting words and speaking speed can all be practiced, but it is difficult to change a person's voice. There is no tuner to help you during the assessment, so the voice is an important part. Your voice is passing the test now. Have everyone had enough fun inside? Come out quickly to eat and take exams. Gen. Listening to Jokinja's voice, Susienner rolled her eyes and insisted on taking a hot spring bath. What about enjoying life as promised? Let's not talk about it for now. I will have a good talk with you after dinner. Okay. Seeing Susienner stand up directly, with her body completely exposed in front of her, Shiina Yuing almost escaped, staring straight at her, wanting to eat her alive. Fortunately, neither Yunlan nor Susienner paid attention. Standing in the changing room and looking at Susienner naked like this, Jokinja frowned and said with a kind smile, Susienner, if you are naked like this without a towel in the future, I won't beat you. Now Jokinja knew that other threats were useless and could only use force. This hot spring hotel is all female, it's okay. Quality. Jokinja handed a set of yukata to Susienner, glanced at the other person and said, hurry up and put it on. Too much shit. Susienner complained in her heart, and then was taken to have dinner by Jokinja. She looked at Shiina Yuing who came with her and waved, do you want to come together? Having dinner with a beautiful girl is a great pleasure. Although she had just taken advantage of the hot spring, in reality no girl was beautiful, and girls from high school were not used to dressing up, so she was not interested. And if Yunlan is more delicate, Yui Sakura Shiina is an iceberg goddess. Apart from her, she is the tallest in appearance. Isn't it just about looking at beautiful women while eating? As a face control person, Susienner naturally wanted to have dinner with Yui Sakura Shiina. Yui Sakura Shiina was about to agree, but looking at the clothes in the changing room, she apologized, I still need to help you clean your clothes. After spending a while with Susienur, she no longer felt the urgency in her heart, and it was no different from usual times. Of course, Susienur still had a very strong temptation in her heart, but she could restrain it. Hearing this, Susienur remembered that the other party was the boss's daughter, and she wanted to help them clean their clothes. After bidding farewell to Susienur and others, the girls who came out one after another, such as Yui Sakura Shiina, changed their clothes and recorded the names on the labels one by one, preparing to start cleaning the clothes. As a result, I saw a Susienur clothes basket. Looking at the clothes inside, I couldn't help but stiffen. Her eyes were fixed on the corner of the clothes basket, where a touch of white was revealed. Shiina Yui Sakura picked up Susienur's clothes basket with trembling hands, then reached out to push the clothes aside, revealing the pure white half-striped strip. Second rate. When Shiina Yui Sakura's trembling hand touched it, holding the piece of moonlight in her hand for half a time, feeling the soft material and the warm touch made her feel like there was a devil in her heart. Susienur and Yunlan were taken to dinner by Jokinja, so they naturally didn't know about the perverted behavior of Shiina Yui Sakura in the dressing room. Can we skip the exam? Susienur regretted coming here a little. She had thought that the top students who came to the hot springs together were all beautiful girls, but reality gave her a heavy blow. This is not the second dimension, how can there be so many beautiful girls? She even woke up and realized that the reason she had this idea was that there were too many beautiful girls around her. Whether it was Chen Shui or Lin Jingshu, or the class teacher Jokinja and Yunlan in front of her, they were all very beautiful. In addition, she usually sat in a relatively backward position in school and could not see the girls in front of her. She left after class, so the impression this world gave her was, there are so many beautiful girls. As a result, she was depressed during this hot spring trip. As a face control, Susienur said she wanted to go home. Of course, if she was reluctant to leave, only Shiina Yui Sakura could make her miss it. She had also soaked in the hot spring, so it was time to go back. It's a pity, you want to leave after coming here? Seeing this, Jokinja sneered, you were not like this when you came here. Finish the exam quickly, then take a rest and go to sleep. Sleep for a living, I'm not a pig. How can I sleep so quickly at night after sleeping at noon? I must go online. Thinking of this, Susienur's body stiffened, and her face suddenly turned bad. She looked at Yunlan, who was afraid of the majesty of teacher Jokinja, and asked in a trembling voice, Yunlan, did you bring a computer? Ah. I didn't bring it. She looked at Jokinja again. I didn't bring it either. No computer? How can I spend these 3 days? Commit suicide. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Transformed into a comic book artist. Author, Miao by Sheng Wu. Chapter 210. Susienur, who didn't have a computer, was completely depressed. She was weak and listless whether eating or taking exams. During the exam, the old professor frequently paid attention to Susienur. After all, Susienur was so cute. In the eyes of the old man, she was the most beloved. Who doesn't want their children and grandchildren to be exquisite and cute? Unfortunately, these children are other people's children. Taiwan Novel Network Rightward Arrow. Jokinja noticed it and glared at Susienur, reminding her to take the exam well. After the exam, the old professor also pulled Susienur to talk, wanting to know if Susienur had any troubles. This made Susienur look confused, and then she had to chat with the old professor. This chat lasted for more than an hour, making her sweat profusely. So chatting is so tiring? If the old professor hadn't gotten too old and couldn't handle the nightmare, Susienur would have been dragged to chat all night. After getting rid of the old professor, Susianer wiped the cold sweat from her head. But she was no longer weak at this time, although she, Yunlan, and even Joe Kinja didn't bring a computer. There was an internet cafe. So Susianer went straight to Shianayui Sakura. Hey, Shianayui Sakura was nervous when she saw Susianer approaching her. Her face turned pale and she stammered, "Student Su, what do you want to talk to me about?" She put her hands together shyly and looked dazed. Although Susianer was surprised, she didn't care because she had something to ask for. It's like this, there should be an internet cafe nearby, right? Shianayui Sakura was startled, then breathed a sigh of relief, and smiled coldly, "Yes, there is, but it's late now. You're not going to an internet cafe, are you?" "Of course." Susianer was also relieved. Although she didn't bring a computer, as long as there was an internet cafe, she would be fine. As for teaching the other party to sing, she had plenty of time these days anyway, so there was no rush. As a result, before Shianayui could speak, Joe Kinja's voice suddenly came from behind Susianer, "Want to go to the internet cafe?" "Susianer, don't go anywhere tonight, you are unfamiliar with this place, what if something happens to you? You stay in the hot spring hotel tonight, don't try to sneak away, I will guard the door." The sudden voice scared Susianer. "Teacher, are you a ghost? You walk silently." "What did you say?" Joe Kinja stepped forward and pulled Susianer's ear, sneering, "I knew you didn't take the exam seriously just now, do you want to sneak away to the internet cafe?" "No. No," Susianer smiled awkwardly, her ears were pinched, and the handle was held, she was instantly desperate. Seeing this, Shianayui Sakura couldn't help but cover her mouth and laugh, "Student Su, you don't need to go to the internet cafe. My bedroom is on the second floor, and my computer is there too. You can just go to my room and play on the computer." Really, Susianer was very surprised. She almost forgot that this was Shianayui Sakura's home. Then she patted Joe Kinja's hand and snorted, "Who would go to the internet cafe where it's so smoky? Teacher, you really think too much. I'm so cute. What if I go to the internet cafe and get molested by hooligans? Would I be so careless about my own safety?" As she said that, she didn't wait for Joe Kinja to react, and directly pulled Shianayui Sakura up to the second floor. Shianayui Sakura, who was being pulled, felt Susianer's pink and smooth little hand, and her face was full of happiness. "This stinky girl," Joe Kinja thought of something and shouted, "Remember to come down and pack your bedding later. I'll sleep on the second floor, I won't come down with a computer." Susianer wouldn't go downstairs, so she naturally stayed in front of the computer. She hadn't touched the computer for the whole afternoon. Joe Kinja had a headache. When Shianayui heard this, her eyes lit up like light bulbs, staring at Susianer who was pulling her, and couldn't help but say, "Are you really going to sleep in my bedroom?" "Of course. Of course. Sleeping with a strange beautiful girl is so exciting." And Lin Jingshu was not there, she had a feeling of cheating, nervous and exciting. Lin Jingshu, who was far away in the Magic City to review, obviously didn't know that she had been cheated. Looking at Susianer in a yukata, Shianayui seemed to see the white jade body in the yukata, she couldn't help swallowing her saliva. At night, nothing should happen, right? The two quickly went up to the second floor, and when Susianer entered the room, she found that the whole room was simple and elegant, with fresh colors, unlike other little girls who were decorated in a girlish way. Susianer was very satisfied with Shianayui's room. "Student Su, you can play with the computer as you like, the password is 258369. Is it okay for me to download games to play?" "It's okay." Shianayui just finished speaking, her eyes slightly squinted, her heart tightened, and then she came to the bedside calmly, took the white moon half and put it in the closet, and was relieved when she saw that Susianer didn't find it. "You play first, I'll go downstairs to clean up." No problem, now that she has a computer, Susianer feels that she controls the whole world. After turning on the computer, Susianer looked at the desktop without any entertainment software, and couldn't help but sigh. Are all girls' desktops like this? Lin Jingshi's computer desktop is also very clean, without a single game. I don't know how these girls usually spend their boring time. Susianer downloaded LOL. Anyway, she wasn't at home, so she didn't look for games to play. While downloading League of Legends, I was browsing Miobi. Now, the attention of Miobi has exceeded 10 million, reaching more than 35 million followers, and it is rapidly moving towards 40 million followers. And now the forum is all discussing Book of Life and Death, the Your Name animated movie and the food comic she mentioned on Weibo before. Susianer has already thought about this food comic. She won't draw it anyway, so she plans to let Lugoan assist her. Mainly if you are painting the spirit of the halberd eater, you need to change it. After all, in the previous life, this was a Japanese comic. To change it to Chinese, even the dishes in it had to be changed, and the world view and background had to be recreated. But she was too lazy to think about it. Book of Life and Death was because she was interested in it. In addition, I have to make money, so I am very motivated to adapt. As for the spirit of the halberd eater, forget it, so she planned to drag Lugoan along with her. She will come up with the plot of the story, but let Lugoan think of the dishes. When the time comes, Lugoan will be super satisfied by writing each other's names in the comics. After thinking about it, I took a look at the download progress. The internet speed was good, already 70%. Then, Susianer's eyes lit up and she saw a document on the desktop. Parallel Three Kingdoms. Novel. Susianer became interested and thought it was a novel downloaded by Yui Sakura Shiina, so she double-clicked it to open it. Parallel Three Kingdoms. Setting: Li Xian traveled through the end of the Eastern Han Dynasty, but found that the emperor, the 10 ministers and Dongzhou were all women, and the civil and military officials of the entire dynasty were all mature women, and the most shocking thing is that there is not a single man in the entire Three Kingdoms, not even the soldiers. They are all fair-skinned and beautiful girls. This is a completely effeminate world. As the only male in the Three Kingdoms world, the first thing Li Xian has to face is not enough to eat and drink, but because of his reasons, the whole world is in turmoil. Because of him, the Eastern Han Dynasty was divided, and the princes stood side by side. All the forces fought for him, just to make him laugh. Outline: Li. Don't look. Just when Susianer was marveling at this weird setting, Shiina Yuiying, who had just entered the door behind, saw this and couldn't help but screamed in panic, and then hurriedly stepped forward to cover Susianer's eyes. Her whole body, they were all trembling with shame. Isn't this the novel Yui Sakura Shiina is planning to write? Feeling the trembling of Yui Sakura Shiina, Susianer couldn't help but think about it. I beat Dai today and climbed Pain 33 with a temperature of 60,000 SL for 3 hours, I gave up. Transformed into a comic book artist. Author: Miao by Shen Wu. Chapter 211. Did you see it? Shiina Yui's voice trembled, looking at the computer screen. She didn't want to see anyone, but she had to ask clearly. I saw it, Susianer said as a matter of course. She was not blind, but I can't say what your setting will be like, but if it's all girls, it can still attract readers at the beginning, but it will probably wither in the later stage and can't last. Of course, this depends on your writing style. Susianer has already determined that Shiina Yui is a novelist, and judging from the setting, she should be a so-called online novelist. As a novel reader for many years, Susianer still reads novels until now. After all, this is the only way to kill time in class. In her past and present lives, she has read novels for 10 years, and she can write them herself, but she is lazy. This kind of job that requires updates every day, No rest days throughout the year, and you have to make up for it when you take a break. She is not interested in this kind of job. Of course, some shameless authors who take a leave and don't make up for the update are simply shameless people, and such people should be pulled out to continue. I saw it. Xianyui's mind suddenly went blank, and her eyes stared blankly at the computer screen, where the document was not closed yet. The setting is harmless, after all, you can't see anything, it's mainly the outline. Outline: Li Xian traveled to the bed of the current empress of the Eastern Han Dynasty, and was raped before she understood the situation. After a period of love-making, she was seen by the 10 eunuchs, seduced and raped again, and finally found out by Dongzhou that he had a secret love for Li Xian. This is completely an erotic novel. As an erotic novelist, Xianyui wrote erotic novels. And her last novel was almost finished, and she had several ideas for the new book, and she habitually put the ideas and settings into documents on the desktop so that she could read them at any time. As a result, today, Susiener accidentally saw it. No. If she really saw it, a normal girl wouldn't react like this, right? Susiener didn't seem to have any emotions when she spoke. Thinking of Xianyui Sakura, she tried to probe, "Have you finished reading it all?" No, Susiener thought Xianyui Sakura was ashamed. After all, it would be very embarrassing psychologically if a novel was seen by friends and relatives. "I only read the settings, I haven't read the outline yet." It's good that she didn't see it. If she was seen, how would Susiener look at her? After all, she was a girl and an erotic novelist, and the other party would definitely dislike and hate her very much, so it would be best not to let Susiener know about this matter forever. Xianyui Sakura breathed a sigh of relief, with mixed feelings, and then covered Susiener's eyes with one hand, clicked the mouse with the other hand, moved the document to the folder on the disk, and then let go of Susiener's eyes. Susiener didn't resist. After all, this was the other party's computer, it was a bit unreasonable to tamper with things by herself. However, looking at the parallel Three Kingdoms and wondering if it was moved or deleted, and then looking at another document, Susiener did not click incuriously this time, but asked, "What is this story?" "Oh, that was a sudden idea I had yesterday, and I have a big brain hole." Xianyui Sakura looked at the document of future daughter and was not nervous. She only wrote a brief setting and did not write an outline, so she was not afraid of Susiener seeing it. Instead, she talked about it non-stop. This setting is about the story of the future daughter traveling to the side of the 17-year-old high school student protagonist and helping the protagonist pursue his wife. Of course, the story of eating both the daughter and the future wife by the way. However, Xianyui Sakura wrote an urban erotic book in her last book, and this time she wanted to write history. This is why she thought about parallel Three Kingdoms instead of the story of future daughter. However, when Susiener heard it, she suddenly lit up. This is not bad. Great creativity. It will definitely be a big hit. With nearly 10 years of experience in reading novels, Susiener thinks Xianyui Sakura's idea is really good. Oh, Xianyui Sakura was surprised. Really? Of course, where do you write novels? I want to see. Susiener felt that both Parallel Three Kingdoms and Future Daughter had good ideas. Of course, she couldn't say anything about Parallel Three Kingdoms, but Future Daughter was very good. And this idea reminded her of a book. She didn't remember who the author was. But the idea of the book was that the future daughter traveled to the high school protagonist, and then the high school student ate his daughter, the little loli, alive. This was another kind of ghost father. If it weren't for Xianyui Sakura's idea, she wouldn't have remembered it. And, with this, Susiener felt that the extra chapter of Susien series had a place to go. Now that there is no Ghost Father series in this world, the word Ghost Father does not exist at all. She thinks it's time to have a Susien series Ghost Father extra chapter. The future daughter traveled back to be trained, and then helped to chase his wife. Isn't it wonderful to have an alternative mother-daughter training? Shianayui Sakura naturally didn't know that Susienner was brainstorming. When asked this question, she panicked all of a sudden, but fortunately she reacted quickly and said, I just like reading novels, I haven't written a novel before, this is my own attempt. Anyway, I usually have a lot of bored time. So that's how it is, if you really want to write, just start a post, it's from the Yuan group. You can contact me when you publish a book. I have someone in this company. I will protect you when the time comes. Susienner looked pretentious. I have someone above me. She used to hear people say this every day on the internet, and now she can finally speak up. Okay, okay. Shianayui's eyes lit up when she heard this. Writing novels has become her habit, but since she has decided to take the entrance exam for the Huaxia Conservatory of Music, if she really passes, she will be exposed as sharing a dormitory with Susienner. But if she writes a normal novel openly, she can completely hide it. Thinking in her mind, she already has a plan in mind. As for the problem of writing words, anyway, she can write 10,000 words an hour and 20,000 words in 2 hours. For her, it doesn't matter whether it is double opened, triple opened, or quad opened. Anyway, writing words is as easy as drinking water. She can not only guarantee the quality, but also the quantity. That's why she has finished almost 5 novels in 2 years since her debut. Although there are 2 novellas, there are also 3 long erotic novels with more than 1.5 million words. And because Shianayui is focused on writing novels, she doesn't know that she has become a rising star in the erotic novel world because she updates so quickly. Of course, she also has to think about which book to start with. While Shianayui was thinking about it, Susienner had already clicked on the game between Wii and G2 and started watching. Ovo, I recently consulted my senior about why I don't want to write. The senior's answer was that when I write a certain number of words, I will have aversion to writing. There are many reasons for this, such as when writing becomes a mechanical job from a hobby, this situation is very likely to occur, and writing stuck is also the most common. So, I can slow down the update appropriately, relax for a while. Of course I can't stop updating, after all, this is an online novel. So everyone, wait for me to slow down for a few days. Transformed into a comic book artist. Author, Miao by Shen Wu. Chapter 212. Chapter 207. If someone kills me based on my ability, why do they say I'm giving away my life? What a bad guy. He can't even beat the European team. Susienner, who originally wanted to play games, naturally started to watch the game when she saw the official promotion. Looking at the results, I can't help but feel speechless. LOL, in this world is still the same as in the previous life. It seems that even if the population increases by 1 billion, it will not change. The decline of Chinese football and Chinese esports should still be compared. After watching the game, her mood for playing games dropped. Do you like playing games, classmate Su? Of course, only games and entertainment in this world can make me miss them. Susienner said it was natural. After all, she traveled through time and became a girl, and she suffered a lot psychologically. Looking in the mirror every day, such a cute loli can't comfort herself, not to mention how uncomfortable it is. Although she is wretched, she also has her own bottom line. After all, this body is her own now, so she can't mess around with it. But becoming a girl has a big advantage, that is, you can take advantage. Although you can't do that kind of thing, you can still use your hands and feet. What a life of failure. Thinking of this, Susienner couldn't help but sigh. Yui Sakura Shiina secretly looked at the League of Legends on the computer screen and felt that she needed to play it. If she had time in the future, she could find the other party to play black games together. In the time that followed, Susienner naturally focused on playing games, while Yui Sakura Shiina also ran to bed to think about going to college in the future, especially studying music with Susienur. Yeah. ADC, can you stop giving away kills? You gave away 2/3 of the team's kills by yourself, so you're just a fool to play such a stupid game. WTMSB. If ADC gives away another kill, I'll scold him. Report it if you send it again. Can you play with Nema's snakeskin and avoid the robot's hook? Damn. What a bastard. Susienur was killed again by the opponent, and she couldn't help but said angrily, they killed me based on my ability, why do you think I gave my life away? In the end, the game failed. The teammates didn't say a word after that. They were obviously shocked by Susienur's words. There was such a shameless person. After the game ended, Susienur was reported. But of course she didn't know that. After losing a few times, she was so angry that she wanted to slam the table, but she remembered that this was someone else's room, so she endured it. Garbage game. Susienur stopped playing games after that. She looked at the time and it was only around 10 o'clock. It was obviously still very early, and Susienur didn't want to play games anymore, so she just went online to browse Taiba. What she browsed was Miyabi Bar, she was already here permanently. After all, if she saw someone trolling her, of course she would treat her well. Sanction the other party. As a result, as soon as I entered the forum, although many people were discussing comics, there were still 1 or 2 posts discussing League of Legends. I've never seen such a shameless team. We MMP, if we loses, we lose. As a stupid fan of we, I have always supported it silently, but today I am so angry. It doesn't matter if you lose. If you don't reflect on why you lose, I won a game against the Korean SKT team before. Is it so big? Although the official Weibo of we has been deleted, the attitude is obviously very problematic. I have been banned from the official forum of we, so I used teacher Miyobi's forum to vent, don't blame me. The poster was obviously very angry. After he finished speaking, he even sent a screenshot. When Susienur saw it, she couldn't help but laugh out loud, the mood that she had just knelt down instantly improved. G2 beat us with their ability, why do they say we are we? The screenshot is a message posted on we's official Weibo. 6666, I have never seen such a shameless team. It feels very reasonable, if the LPL team loses, you will criticize the actors. I think this sentence is very good. Laughing, I suddenly became a fan of we. Upstairs, you have become a fan. Weibo is causing a lot of noise. Weibo has been criticized as a retard and this Weibo has been deleted. We posted the latest Weibo. After seeing this message, Susienur logged onto Weibo to see how we would come around. I'm extremely sorry. I didn't expect that a joke would cause such harm to fans. Regarding this, we have fired the editor who edited Weibo. As the vanguard team of the LPL, we team has indeed been a little inflated in recent games. After winning against SKT, our players did have mental problems, but we think this is normal. Shouldn't we win against the world's #1 SKT? If you are happy, should you be sad? I hope fans will understand and we will not let you down in future events. Finally, the deleted sentence was not the first one created by us at we, but was browsed in the LOL bar. This is the link. Obviously we didn't expect the fans to be so angry, so they quickly apologized, then explained why we lost, and apologized again in disguise. The last step was to link the cause to divert the spotlight and show that he would not take the blame, it was all the players' fault. Many fans are well aware of this, and some anti-fans naturally hold onto it. But there were still many people who curiously clicked on the link to see what happened, and Susienur was one of them. This is not the worst teammate I have ever met, but he is definitely the most shameless person. Today I was bored in the ranking match, and I met a default support, but I picked Jinx in the ACC position. This is nothing, after all, I'm used to it in the silver segment. As a result, this Jinx gave away 2 kills at the beginning, and then gave away 7 in 10 minutes, almost super ghost. My teammates couldn't help but curse. As a result, when they were focusing on the opponent, this Jinx said this. He killed me with his own ability, why do you say I gave away kills? As a support, I was speechless, and my teammates were obviously shocked. Then no one said a word, and they reported it directly after losing. Looking at the screenshot, Susiener was instantly furious. Isn't this the game she lost before? I'm really convinced, but what the other party said makes sense, I'm speechless. 1,000 words stop at my mouth, I'm speechless. 666, 666, 6666. I've learned it, next time I make a mistake, just say it, see who scolds me. Sorry, although it's sad, but I laughed out loud. Susiener browsed it briefly and found that this post was actually selected as a featured post, MMP. The replies in the back all said that they came from the We official blog, which made her very angry. Although it was her fault for making a mistake, it doesn't mean she can be hung up. Especially this post has exceeded 10,000 replies in just a few hours, which made her feel so hummed. Then Susiener logged into her League of Legends account, and saw that countless players added her as a friend, and there were many chat boxes, all of which were full of people making fun of her, and some We fans chased her and sprayed her. Damn. Susiener quickly changed her nickname, then snorted coldly and went directly to her Weibo to speak. As the pioneer team of LPL, if you lose, you lose. Can't you just admit your mistakes? First you blamed the editor who didn't deserve it, then you blamed a silver player. As a LOL player, I really look down on you we. I'm going to make a statement here. If LPL wins the championship in the global finals this year, I will live broadcast a dance of women's dance to the Pure Land. 1/4. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Transformed into a comic book artist. Author, Miao by Shen Wu. Chapter 213. Susiener was so angry that when she saw what she had posted on Weibo, she suddenly felt a little regretful. Wasn't she looking for something to do? But after thinking about it, the League of Legends LPL in this world couldn't make money, SKT simply beat the world. Thinking about this, she breathed a sigh of relief. As soon as she posted on Weibo, the comments below became densely packed. As she is about to exceed 100 million fans, she is now extremely famous across the country. Coupled with the fact that there are no zombie fans, the fan activity is very high. Wow, teacher also plays League of Legends. Which district? Please guide me. Pure Land? What is this? Why do you want to jump him? Women's clothing? Wake up, teacher Miobi, you are actually a girl. I only know the Western Paradise. Stop talking nonsense. Where is the food comic you promised? We is really inflated. If we win SKT, we will be in the sky. Can I help your female cousin we draw a book? There are many messages, but many people are asking what is the Pure Land of Ultimate Bliss? Is it a dance? If it is dance, what kind of dance is it? After reading the message, Susiener also realized that this world does not yet have the song and dance of the Pure Land. After thinking about it, she explained on Weibo. Pure Land is a song I composed when I was bored. The dance I created is a song and dance as a whole. When this Weibo was posted, all fans were shocked. Teacher, I can see every word of yours, but I can't understand them when you put them together. Damn it. Teacher Miobi, what song did you compose again? Send it out quickly. Creating a song when you were bored, and then creating a dance for the song when you were bored? Teacher Miobi, please accept my respect. Interpretation of Max upstairs. MMP suddenly woke up. If LPL did not win the World Championship, would this song and dance cease to appear? This sentence made many fans feel cold. Many people who don't play League of Legends or follow League of Legends news know that China's League of Legends has never won the championship in the World Finals, and the runner-up is unbeatable. Nowadays, internet cafes are dominated by this game. Whenever you go to an internet cafe, they are basically playing League of Legends. Champion. Unless SKT loses their mind. As soon as Susiener finished posting on Weibo, her phone vibrated, and she saw it was from Lin Jingshu. You have composed another song? Why don't I know about it? Send it to me. Apparently Lin Jingshu has been following her Weibo, and now she naturally wants to ask when she sees it. I'm lying, China can't win the championship in the League of Legends anyway, Susiener said lazily. Although she had the melody of the Pure Land in her mind and knew how to dance, it was just a dream for her to dance. And she thinks she's right. Anyway, the professional teams in China's League of Legends can't win the championship. Is there any difference between her singing and dancing and not? Liar, Lin Jingshu spat, knowing that Susiener was seeking death again. She had never played League of Legends and didn't understand the game, let alone the industry, so she reminded, you'd better create it first. Well, what if the province actually wins the championship? Champion, Susiener wanted to laugh, the top 8 are as good as the sky. Maybe in 2 years, China will become a wild card team. I'm not mocking, Jingshu, go to Baidu and check out the League of Legends esports circle. Okay. Lin Jingshu rolled her eyes, not understanding these professional words, but she was still eager for the song called Pure Land. When she saw these 4 words, she wanted to listen. Then you have to create it first. Just in case, what if we really win the championship? There is no such thing as a contingency, Susiener hummed, and there is a real contingency. Have you forgotten what I told you before? Creating a song is as easy as eating and drinking. Since it's as simple as eating and drinking, then you can sing to me now. Lin Jingshu coquettishly wanted to listen to songs. She felt that the songs sung by Susiener were very nice, and she was already addicted. There are no good songs in the music industry now, and Susiener only created a few songs in a year. If you listen to them on loop, you will get tired of them sooner or later. Of course, now there is Sujug, and many people have posted their own training songs on Station B, which makes it fun for her to go to Station B every day, but she still wants to hear Susiener sing the most. Susiener was speechless, and finally looked at Yui Sakura Shiina, who was obviously asleep on the bed, and said softly, even if I want to sing, I can't sing now. I'm in someone else's room now, I can't disturb others' rest. What? Lin Jingshu shouted instantly after hearing this, in someone else's room. Didn't you go to the hot springs? Are you a man or a woman? A girl. Sister, Lin Jingshu's voice was complex. Yes, I am the daughter of the owner of a hot spring hotel. I am using her computer in the bedroom to access the internet. Otherwise, how else do you think I could play games online and still be listed as a girl in a post bar? Thinking of this, Susiener became angry. Originally, if we didn't quote that sentence on Weibo, the post probably wouldn't have been highlighted, and would have even sunk down after a while. However, when we said it on Weibo, it diverted the blame and she took the blame. Being laughed at? I guess I will be laughed at for a long time. Lin Jingshu kept laughing while listening to the story. Finally, she thought of something and said, remember to buy a laptop in the future. When you go out, you don't have to go to other people's bedrooms. It's too much trouble for others. Got it? Okay, I won't disturb your rest. Remember to sing for me when you get home. Ah, ah, ah. Susiener responded helplessly. After hanging up the phone, Before she could rest for a second, her phone vibrated again. It was Sayori Asada. "MMP, are you still letting me rest?" This time, Susiener came to the corridor to answer the call. After all, Shianayui seemed to be asleep. What for? Susiener had a complicated feeling about Sayori Asada. After all, this guy had a handle on her. Of course, if she thought about it in a different way, she would let the other party draw the book, and she didn't lack a piece of meat. But in this situation, how could she be casual? "Little Fairy, is your song about the Pure Land about cherry blossoms?" Sayori Asada didn't care about Susiener's dry tone at all, but asked teasingly. "No, nothing, I'm hanging up," Susiener snorted, obviously not wanting to pay attention to the other party. "Wait." Asada Sayori hurriedly stopped her, and then she was really afraid that Susiener would hang up the phone directly, so she said bluntly, "Don't you want to get back Sujug's secondary creation rights?" Asada Sayori knew that Sujug's secondary creation rights had always been a contract that Susiener wanted to take back. Originally, she planned to hold it in her hand and tease the other party in the future, but when she thought of that incident, she sighed and said, "As long as you promise me one thing, I will let you take it back." Susiener's eyes lit up. "What is it?" "Participate in the online music selection held by Sakura Entertainment Group in June and win the championship." "Competition?" "I won't show up," Susiener frowned. "No need to show up, this is an online competition, as long as the song is good." "Why do you want me to participate? Don't you know that curiosity can kill people?" Susiener was very curious. Hearing this, Asada Sayori was silent for a few seconds. Thinking of Susiener's talent in songwriter, she slowly spoke. 2/4. Transformed into a comic book artist. Author, Miao by Sheng Wu. Chapter 214. "Do you remember that I wanted to go to your house for the last annual meeting, but then I received a call and flew back to Yanjing?" "I remember." After the Tencent Animation annual meeting, Asada Sayori obviously wanted to stay at her house for one night and do something extremely evil, but she received a call and left in a hurry. "I thought that matter should have been resolved in the past few months, but I didn't expect that the call was still about this matter." This made Susiener very curious. And Asada Sayori didn't have the teasing tone as before, but was very heavy. "I am a close friend of Akiko, the chairman of Sakura Group. 5 years ago, her husband passed away, leaving her 2-year-old daughter and her, and on the night of the annual meeting, she called me and said that her daughter had an accident." The call she received that night, because Suzuki Akiko didn't have time to tell her the details, just said that her daughter Suzuki Sakura had a physical condition and hoped that she could come back. Because Suzuki Akiko is the chairman of Sakura Group, she is usually busy, and although Asada Sayori is a queen, she is not like other singers. She was a Japanese singer promoted by the country in the early days. She was considered a representative figure in the tribe and one of the representatives of the National People's Congress, so she had a high social status and was paid attention to by the country. Since Asada Sayori had no good songs, she has been in a semi-retired state. Although fans have been looking forward to her new songs, she will not release new songs unless she likes the songs. For this reason, she used to take care of Suzuki Sakura. Usually, Suzuki Sakura obviously liked her more because she could enjoy Asada Sayori's singing alone, and she was naturally closer to her mother than to her mother. Despite this, Suzuki Akiko was not jealous, but asked Asada Sayori to recognize Suzuki Sakura as her goddaughter. On the night of the accident, Suzuki Sakura had a severe stomachache. Suzuki Akiko happened to be at home that day, so she was worried and sent her directly to the hospital. The result, after the test, it was late-stage liver cancer. This made Suzuki Akiko completely lost her soul, stunned, and unable to say a word. Asada Sayori, who arrived that night, couldn't believe it either. She even said that maybe there was something wrong. Normally, there was nothing wrong with Suzuki Sakura. How could she have advanced liver cancer? However, the final result showed that the hospital's examination was not wrong. This made the two completely disappointed. The chief doctor of the hospital pulled Asada Sayori and said that Suzuki Sakura's advanced liver cancer was because she was a carrier of the hepatitis B virus, which caused the disease within this year, so Suzuki Sakura's body was very normal in the past and looked normal. As for the hepatitis B virus being inherited by Suzuki Akiko, the hospital only said this to Asada Sayori, not to Suzuki Akiko, because they were afraid that she would do something bad under self-blame. The 7-year-old Suzuki Sakura's thoughts were actually slightly mature. After all, modern children have been exposed to the internet early, and her mother and godmother's expressions are very obvious. In addition, she learned about her condition after eavesdropping once, and she knew that she might leave in a few months. Although she was mature, the child had no concept of death. She just felt that she might not see her mother and godmother in the future, and felt very sad. Suzuki Sakura was not good at hiding herself, so she was soon discovered by Suzuki Akiko and Asada Sayori. Finally, Suzuki Sakura, who was lying on the hospital bed, smiled and said, "Mom, can you fulfill one of my wishes?" "You say." Suzuki Akiko held her daughter's hand tightly to prevent herself from crying, and Asada Sayori next to her didn't know what to say at this time. "I hope someone will write a song for me before I die." Suzuki Sakura tilted her head, thinking, and then said, "A song about cherry blossoms or about me?" "Okay. I'll find someone to help you write a song later. It must be about cherry blossoms." The tone and expression of her daughter, who had no concept of death, made Suzuki Akiko even more depressed. "No. I want Mom to help me organize a music audition. I want to choose songs carefully," Suzuki Sakura said with a smile. "Mom, you used to work every day, but not for me, so I hope Mom can work for me once. I hope there are many judges. Sayori's mom is not allowed to run, she has to help me choose songs. When the time comes, I will choose one song after another, pick the song I like the most, and then let Sayori's mom sing it to me every day." "Okay, okay." At this time, Suzuki Akiko tried hard to hold back her tears, not letting them flow out, and she didn't want her daughter to see her sad look, and Asada Sayori felt even more uncomfortable. She slightly raised her head and looked at the lights of the hospital, only to feel that it was very dazzling, making her eyes sore, and her heart was even more uncomfortable. Then what? Susiener saw Asada Sayori suddenly stop talking, and couldn't help asking softly. To be honest, she really didn't understand the so-called family affection. She was an orphan in her previous life, and the parents of this body who came through this life also had a plane accident early, so she felt very weak about family affection. And her aunt was far away in Yanjing, and the first thing she called her was that she owed money. So, in her opinion, this so-called family affection is really a burden. She doesn't understand the feelings of Asada Sayori and Suzuki Akiko. However, relatives are about to die, and they must be in a bad mood. She knows this, so she, who has always been heartless, naturally knows how to read people's expressions. Now Asada Sayori obviously doesn't need comfort, but to listen to the other party's confession. Sakura asked to hold this event a month before her birthday. Hearing this, Asada Sayori sighed deeply, and this birthday has to wait for nearly a year, because Sakura's birthday is in April, but just a week ago, Sakura passed away. Originally, Asada Sayori didn't want to say too much, but she was in a very bad mood in the past few months, and even wanted to cancel the concert to accompany Sakura, but she insisted on it because she promised the fans. So I discussed with Akiko and held this event in June, hoping to find quality songs as soon as possible and realize Sakura's wish. After saying this, Asada Sayori sighed deeply. In fact, she had planned to find Susiener before, but considering that the other party was going to take the college entrance examination, she planned to wait until the college entrance examination was over, and she couldn't let this kind of thing affect the other party's mood. But she really couldn't help it. Although she had many friends in the music circle, she didn't want people to know about it. Suzuki Akiko also didn't want the public to know about her daughter's death. That's why Asada Sayori came to Susieno to talk and vent her emotions. Of course, there was also a reason why Susieno posted on Weibo that there was a new song, and she also came to ask if the song was about cherry blossoms. I know, I will participate. Since someone asked her to fulfill the wish of a little girl who passed away, Susieno would naturally not refuse. I hope it won't affect your college entrance examination. Don't worry, I'm the first in the grade. Susieno was a little uncomfortable with the other party's serious talk, but when she thought about what happened to the other party, she was relieved. Just, which song should I use? 3/4. Transformed into a comic book artist. Author, Miao by Shen Wu. Chapter 215. Song, Susieno would naturally look for a song from her previous life. Taiwan Novel Network Rightward Arrow. Although this made Susieno feel a little uncomfortable, after all, this was a song for the little girl who passed away. It was indeed unreasonable to copy a song like this, but she couldn't write a song if she really wanted to. It would be okay if she was asked to draw comics, although the original body was talented in music, and she also inherited the other party's piano skills and singing skills. There was nothing to inherit in terms of creation, so she could only look for songs from her previous life. It's just that she couldn't find any songs for a while, so she could only put it aside for now. She talked to Asada Sayori for a few words, feeling that the other party's mood had improved slightly. When the other party was about to make a joke, she hung up the phone in time. Back in front of the computer, Susieno wanted to play games, but thinking of being cheated by Wii before, she simply didn't play. Browsing Weibo, Susieno's face darkened. When she was on the phone with Lin Jingshu and Asada Sayori, the trend of the internet had obviously changed. Many people asked her on Weibo what the song and dance of Pure Land of Bliss was. Obviously, the 4 words Pure Land of Bliss aroused curiosity. Some fans said that Miobi teacher was a pit, and every time he aroused their curiosity, he ignored them, which was simply a heinous crime. This was recognized by many people. For example, there is still no news about the so-called game. Susieno was also helpless about this. When the game started to be tested, she found that the graphics were not as good as the previous Beautiful Girl Kaleidoscope, so she went back to redo it. There is still no news until now. I am afraid it will be postponed again. But the fans don't care. They asked for compensation, but Susieno ignored them. Oh, I was so angry, but I still wanted to continue to support Susieno and continue to defend her. Now, it aroused people's curiosity again. The internet is very large and small. Some fans are bored and ran to find out why Susieno wanted to criticize Wii. Then they found out that Susieno's criticism of Wii was not groundless, there was a reason behind it. Some careful people found out that the idea of the mock jinx was chalk. This shocked them, and then they posted a thread in Miobi bar to analyze it. It is well known that Miobi teacher's naming is traceable, or Miobi teacher is lazy, so he is also very lazy in naming. It can be seen from the fact that the author of the comics is called Miobi and the singer is called Water Pen. The gossip also said that Miobi teacher designed the character portrait for MiHoYo before, and his pen name is Ballpoint Pen. This shows how much Miobi teacher likes the word pen. And today Miobi teacher suddenly criticized the Wii team, which surprised us fans, because no one knew that Miobi teacher also played League of Legends. Miobi teacher is so lazy, he actually criticized the Wii team when he was full? I don't believe it if there is no hidden reason. So after the conclusion, this jinx with the ID chalk should be Miobi teacher. This analysis is very hummed up, without any dry goods. But people in Miobi bar all agreed. Some have been fans since Susieno debuted, and have a little understanding of Susienner. This is a very lazy girl. She basically handed over the drafts to Myobi Studio to draw, and she was lazy every day. In addition, the last time Devil's Contract was exposed, it was also the work of Myobi Studio. As for why Myobi teacher doesn't draw it himself? Of course it's laziness. Why is the update of Susien series so slow, and there is no difference between it and Unix? Of course it's laziness. Then the lazy Susiener, who has nothing to do to criticize we, is obviously not in line with Myobi teacher's character, as the host said. And what if the chalk in this game is Myobi teacher? Everything makes sense. We team let Susiener take the blame, and was ridiculed by the majority of fans. Naturally, she was unhappy, and she had to criticize when she was unhappy. Fans who understood the situation in an instant said that they were very angry. MMP, society is really sinister. We team actually let our teacher Myobi take the blame. I think it is appropriate to impose justice on them. Don't start a fight above, now we have to encourage the LPL team. Teacher Myobi said that as long as the LPL team wins the World Championship, they will jump to the paradise. Don't you look forward to it? Now we not only don't scold them, but also cheer for them. Yes, that makes sense. Of course, if they don't win the World Championship, don't blame us for scolding them more fiercely. This post was pinned to the top of Myobi bar and reposted to various forums. As Susiener, who is very popular now, she is very famous, because the official League of Legends Chinese division, that is, Tencent, said that they will redo the League of Legends character portraits, make each character image more exquisite and more in line with modern people's aesthetics. As for who to find? Naturally, find Myobi Studio. As soon as this announcement came out, coupled with Tencent's intention to make Susiener famous among the public, or this was also the intention of the animation administration. So, after players saw Susiener's previous style of painting, they all cried out. In the past, the character portraits of League of Legends were a joke, with muscles everywhere, but fortunately, League of Legends is not a game based on style, but many female heroes are disgusting. Especially the portrait of the Fire Girl, who looks like an old lady, with faintly visible muscles, can be said to be the ugliest portrait. Now the official has approached the Myobi Studio, and after players understand it, they naturally agree with it. And many LOL players know Susiener, or have heard of the pen name Myobi. After all, Book of Life and Death is so popular. So when this post was forwarded, many players said that this pitfall chalk jinx was actually Myobi teacher. One up host even found the recording of that game, and then made a video and posted it to B Station, with the title Myobi teacher's god-level operation can't save 4 rookie teammates, and then praised Susiener's operation and belittled other teammates. Myobi teacher's position is obviously to go up and attack the soldiers to level 2 and then fight, but this noob support obviously doesn't know Myobi teacher's idea, and actually hides behind, even blocking Myobi teacher's position, and let Myobi teacher be hooked by the robot. This support is really a bastard. Stupid. This blind monk is really terrible. Myobi teacher was obviously hooked and sold himself. As long as the blind monk and the support go forward, the top single teleport will definitely blow up the opponent, but the blind monk left? As a result, Myobi teacher was killed instantly, and he was too lazy to press the treatment and flash. I can feel how desperate Myobi teacher was at that time. MMP, what kind of team battle is this? And he didn't even protect Myobi teacher. Myobi teacher moved forward, obviously very confident in his operation. As long as Myobi teacher is well protected, pentakill and team wipe is not a dream, and it is completely possible to push back. I can even imagine Myobi teacher's exquisite prediction and a walking after being protected by teammates, as well as the explosive output AoE in team battles. Alas, I can only say that Myobi teacher encountered a group of noobs. Some unknown viewers clicked into this video and watched Jinx's horrible operation being praised in various ways. Then they saw that the barrage agreed with the up-host's statement. Some barrages were even more exaggerated than the up-host. They could find all kinds of very reasonable excuses for missing a soldier, which made people believe that Jinx was praised to the sky, making them look confused. This Jinx, is it really amazing? Susiener learned about the process and watched this video, and couldn't help laughing. What a mental retard. 4/4. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Transformed into a comic book artist. Author, Miao by Shen Wu. Chapter 216. All the teams in the LPL region would never have thought that when almost all players began to support them, it was actually a ridiculous reason. At this time, many professional players who were broadcasting live on major platforms looked at the barrage with a confused look on their faces. I must win the World Championship. Come on, come on. Brother-in-law, come on in the game. Try to win the World Championship. I won't scold you for the laundry detergent, come on in the game. Please, win the World Championship, I really want to know what the song and dance of the Pure Land of Bliss is. When the barrage was full of cheers, there was no more quarreling, scolding, or even insults. All the professional players of League of Legends were dumbfounded. When did the quality of League of Legends players become so high? By the way, did I travel through time? Why didn't anyone scold them? This world is exactly the same as the previous life, and the esports circle has not changed at all. Although players who play Dota don't look down on those who play League of Legends, professional players of League of Legends are indeed too weak in the world game. But there are too many players of League of Legends. In this era of derailed art style, League of Legends is almost an epoch-making esports game. It is relatively simple to operate and easy to get started, making League of Legends popular all over the world. As a game that does not look at the art style, everyone knows this game. Even people who do not play games know the meaning of the two words open black. When there are many people, the quality is uneven. Many people say that the quality of people in League of Legends is poor. This is not just talk. After all, there are too many people. This has led to negative energy in the League of Legends live broadcast room. Especially in the live broadcast rooms of some big anchors and professional players, as long as there is an operation error, basically the barrage will appear is this XX. Can you be a professional player with this kind of operation? Really rubbish, retire quickly. And these words are basically just a small matter. Since live broadcasts can be muted, the live broadcast room is still good. What is really scary is that the official Weibo of major professional teams and the Weibo of players are basically filled with black fans. As professional players who are used to being scolded, they are very surprised. Then they learned about the situation and couldn't help laughing and crying. Although there are still trolls, they have been drowned out by the cheers. Or, in other words, all fans of Susiener are cheering for these professional players. At this moment, these professional players have a trance-like illusion. PDD, who has already retired, even expressed his surprise at this situation on Weibo. You bunch of snakes, me, I thought you guys changed your ways and started to support professional players, but you actually wanted to watch the song and dance of Paradise. By the way, can Miss Miobi give me a spoiler of what Paradise is? At Miobi. I declare here that as long as you support professional players, I will not swear for a day. If I break my promise, I won't say anything about eating shit on the live broadcast, but I will pay 10,000 yuan for saying a swear word. Please supervise. I had a dream a long time ago, that is, if everyone supports professional players, will all professional players go out with confidence, instead of fighting against insults and fighting in the World Championship with great pressure, and even when they make mistakes in the game, they don't think about fighting back, but think about how the players scold them. Now I didn't expect it to be realized for this reason, it's a bit ridiculous. When this incident was circulated in Major League of Legends live broadcast rooms on the internet, Weibo, and Taiba in just 1 hour, many big anchors and retired players learned about the situation and expressed their feelings on Weibo. Especially PDD and Sun Yelong, as former professional players, they can better understand the difficulty of the current League of Legends environment. The overall quality of the League of Legends esports circle is actually rising. You should know that PDD, as a member of the IG team, was even thrown bottles by Wii fans when he counter-attacked Wii in the SWL finals. This shows how bad the environment of the League of Legends esports circle was before. Many people want to change this environment, but they can't. Because this is not something that can be changed by human power, it takes time to grind. It's like the quality of the esports circle in the past 1 or 2 years is very different from that in the past few years. However, the environment that many people think cannot be changed by human power was actually changed by someone who is not in the esports circle. Upon hearing this news, many people felt very complicated. What they have never been able to do was actually supported by a cartoonist named Miobi and an unknown song and dance just because the fans of the other party were curious and scratched their heads. When did it become so easy to change an environment? And according to their understanding, this was changed by several things that were out of touch with the public. Although there are still trolls, as long as the live broadcast room starts to troll people, Miobi's fans will troll back. As Susiener has nearly 100 million fans on Weibo, her real number of fans has already exceeded 100 million. After all, many people don't like to use Weibo, but they are fans of Susiener. Many professional players even tagged Susiener on Weibo to thank her for what she did. Several things that are out of place have caused the current situation. These professional players don't know how long this kind of atmosphere will last, but they think it's good that it can change. But even though they tagged, Miobi didn't pay any attention to them, which made them helpless. They really hope that Susiener can come out and say something, cheer them up or something. Of course, according to PDD, it would be best for Miobi to publish a preview of the Pure Land, so that excited fans might support professional players even more. It's a pity that PDD has no way to deal with Fu Xiao's clever work. In terms of the number of fans, PDD does not have as many fans as Susiener. In terms of fan cohesion, even the fans of all professional players and anchors combined cannot compare to Susiener. So, PDD really doesn't dare to say anything. Although the comic circle is not as good as the esports circle, the wonderful writing is obviously beyond the comic circle. As for Susiener, what is she doing? She had turned off the computer long ago, and then lay on the quilt that Yui Sakura Shiina had prepared for her. She lay on the quilt and thought about which song to use for the online music audition in June. For the music audition in June, the song type that Kyozi is going to choose is a Japanese song. After all, Kyozi and Sakura are both members of the He clan, so Kyozi hopes that the songs for her daughter will also be in Japanese. As for the songs, there are not many requirements. Sakura's the request is about Sakura or something related to her name. Thinking of Asada Sayori's words in her mind, Susiener let out a cute yawn. Her mind was drowsy, her eyelids gradually closed down, and she fell asleep like that in 2 or 3 minutes. Time passed slowly. I don't know what time it was in the middle of the night. Yui Sakura Shiina, who was lying on the bed, suddenly opened her eyes. She rubbed her sleepy eyes, and she remembered that she needed to go to the toilet on the bed. As soon as she sat up, she remembered that Susiener seemed to be sleeping in her room. In an instant, Yui Sakura Shiina became more energetic, and as soon as she glanced away, in the dark room, she could vaguely see Susiener sleeping soundly on the floor. Yui Sakura Shiina just stared at the place where Susiener was sleeping. Her mind was a little confused. As a 7-year-old child, I would like to wish you a happy Children's Day first. By the way, Don't you say anything? Monthly tickets, recommendation tickets, rewards and more. Transformed into a comic book artist. Author, Miao by Sheng Wu. Chapter 217. Yui Sakura Shiina looked at Susienner, who was laying on the floor. Her mind was confused and her heart was itching unbearably. It was as if there was a little devil in her heart tempting and shouting at her to do some messy things to Susienner, who was sleeping at this time. Susienner was playing computer games before, so when she had nothing to do, she took her mobile phone and read novels, especially the Kidian website introduced by Susienner. She naturally knew about this website. It was the #1 online novel website in China, where countless novel authors sought the path to enlightenment. Yui Sakura Shiina also came to read it before, but after reading it, she found that it was basically a routine novel. There were very few genres she liked, so she rarely read it again. In the future, if you are really in the same school or dormitory as Susienner, then you will have to use your talent for writing novels to create creations in online literature. Of course, her purpose is not to make money, but to hide her identity as an erotic novelist. After all, if a girl knew about this identity, she would definitely be disgusted. In order to prevent Susienner from showing a strange look to her, I kept thinking about it while lying in bed at night. As a result, I fell asleep after thinking about it. Since I went to bed early and wanted to go to the toilet, I got up very early. Shiina Yosakura is very confused now. Then when Shiina Yuiying was struggling, she found that she was already standing next to Susienner. Obviously, she couldn't resist the temptation of Susienner's body. She didn't dare to turn on the light, so she only dared to look at Susienner in the dark night. Fortunately, her night vision was good, and the distance was close enough, so she could clearly see Susienner's sleeping face. Susienner's sleeping position is really not good. Now that it's almost next day, when she's at home, Susienner is used to turning on the 18 degrees cooling system and then sleeping wrapped in a quilt. Shiina Yosakura's bedroom is currently refrigerated at 25 degrees Celsius. Although the temperature is moderate, it is a bit too hot for Susienner. So at this time, Susienner had one thigh wrapped around the quilt, hugging the quilt sideways, using the quilt as a large pillow, and Bayu's back was exposed. Looking at Susienner's white moon for half a time. Gilug. Shiina Yosakura swallowed like an idiot. She wanted to go to the toilet just now, but now she didn't want to move. Touch it, just touch it. Staring straight at Susienner, Yui Sakura Shiina squatted aside, her heart in confusion, and she stabbed Susienner's face with her trembling hands. She didn't dare to use too much force for fear that Susienner would wake up, so she just raised a finger and lightly poked Susienner's cheek. The soft and icy touch came from her fingertips, making Yui Sakura Shiina's breath quicken, and she felt an extremely comfortable feeling all over her body. She knew it was a disease. She must be acting very perverted now, but, so pleasurable. Touch again, touch again. Human desires are endless. When a goal is achieved, greed will emerge. Shiina Yuiying is in this state. She obviously feels that it is pleasant to poke her, but Susienner is sleeping now, and she will touch it again. A few strokes are okay. Shiina Yuiying followed the guidance of her heart and gently touched Susienner's cheek with her hand again. This time she did not poke it, but covered it with her entire palm. Putting her little hands against her little face, listening to Susienner's steady and balanced breathing, and feeling the touch of her palms, Yui Sakura Shiina suddenly realized, maybe this is happiness. Susienner seemed to feel something in her sleep, and her face felt a little heavy, but she was really sleepy, so she didn't wake up at all. She just made unconscious sounds, then turned around, adjusted her sleeping position and continued to sleep. Yui Sakura Shiina's heart was beating fast, her body was stagnant, and her heart almost jumped out. Seeing that Susienner didn't wake up, she couldn't help but breathe a sigh of relief. If she wakes up, how will she explain? However, the next moment, Shiina Sakura's nosebleed almost spurted out. Susanoo's sleeping posture was indeed inelegant. At this time, she had discarded the quilt and was lying directly on her side. But Sakura Shiina discovered that Susanoo was not wearing any obscene clothes. Just now, Susanoo was pressed tightly against the quilt, so she didn't notice it, but now she could see it clearly. What to do, what to do? Shiina Sakura panicked. She didn't understand why she didn't have such an extremely strong emotion when they were naked in the hot spring together. How could it suddenly appear now? Naturally, Shiina Sakura didn't know that bathing in hot springs was fair and above board, but now she is essentially a crazy man who molests a beautiful girl. The former doesn't have too many mood swings, the latter is exciting. Mental impulses, physical impulses, and mental confusion create this overwhelming emotion. In addition, Sakura Shiina herself has a strong impulse towards Susanoo. Adding several layers of experience is not as simple as 1 + 1. This is just like many old drivers in the past life who read too many books about pure love. When they read it again, the sword can no longer be unsheathed, and only when they see ghosts, beasts, black faces, and other perverted themes can their cold light shine. This is the current situation of Shiina Sakura. Touch it, will it be okay? Sakura Shiina stared straight at Susanoo's chest. The breasts, which were barely reaching the B-cup, made Sakura Shiina unable to walk. Sakura Shiina is a little addicted to this sneaky pleasure. Sakura Shiina covered her mouth because she was breathing too heavily, the sound of gasping was too loud in this silent bedroom. She was afraid that the sound would wake Susanoo and she would be completely unable to explain it. The little hand reached out to Susanoo's chest. Then, gently touched. Like a dragonfly touching the water, Shiina Sakura did not dare to stay. After a light touch, Susanoo did not feel anything in her sleep, but Shiina Sakura was powerless. It's so exciting. The violent fluctuations of emotions made Shiina Sakura a little tired, but she still wanted to touch again. This time she looked at Susanoo's thighs. Even in this dark bedroom where only the vision could be vaguely seen, Shiina Sakura could clearly feel that Susanoo's slender and round thighs were shining with a crystal clear luster like white jade. Even if she was not a foot control, she could not bear to see this flawless jade foot at this time. Hand, touched it. Susanoo, who was sleeping, obviously did not know that she was touched all over by a girl tonight. Tonight was undoubtedly the happiest day for Shiina Sakura, and it was also a sleepless night. Someone in the group said that as long as I write a chapter at 12 o'clock, I will wear women's clothes. The RBQ whose ID is Saber, I'm waiting for your women's clothing.